It's considered one of the biggest rodeos of the year, and while champions are crowned and gold buckles won out there on that stage, the stories of the history, the legacies, the performances, the animals, and the people go far beyond the dirt. The Houston Fat Stock Show and Livestock Exposition was established in 1931. Its original purpose was to increase awareness of the Texas Gulf Coast livestock industry with local, state, and national audiences. The first show took place at then Sam Houston Hall, the present-day Hobby Center. In 1954, it became a then RCA, now PRCA sanctioned event. Renamed the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo in 1961, the rodeo moved into the Astrodome in 1966. In 2003, the 71st Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo celebrated its first year in its new homes, NRG Stadium and NRG Center. The Super Series was created in 2007 as part of the rodeo's 75th anniversary and had a payout of $50,000, the highest prize ever given at that time. Now here are some of those people continuing the rodeo's legacy. For over 3 decades, Leon Coffey was the man in the can, the barrel man keeping bull riders safe and putting smiles on people's faces. The Hall of Famer made the tough decision to leave the barrel after last year's rodeo, but he picked his replacement, John Harrison. Coffey is still at the rodeo, making those smiles.
31 years, you're the barrel man, and now you've passed it down.
Mm-hmm.
What does that feel like? How has this transition been?
Wow. It's been a great one for me because when I stopped fighting bulls, I knew there were some great bullfighters out there that could handle it. And I knew that I had lost a step and I was not going to be that guy that was going to be able to keep the consistency of being good up. And when I realized I had lost that step, I stepped out of it. When I stepped out of wanting to quit clowning and just because I can't get down the barrel like I need to or move it like I want to be where somebody needs me to be. And I told them, I said, I'm going to probably quit. And they said, no, we're going to put somebody in the barrel. I said, can I pick them? And I said, yes, you sure can. I said, I will. So she called me one day, Caitlin called me one day, she said, okay, who you gonna pick? I said, give me a week. So I took that week and I really pondered on what Houston meant to me and what this rodeo needs. And I thought about John a lot and I went through a lot of names and I said, I just don't think anybody's gonna fit here but John. And he's the guy that I thought of a lot of places. The first time I ever saw him work was in Clovis, New Mexico, and he impressed me. And let me tell you something, not everybody can be a funny man. So a lot of people can be a comedian, but not a funny man. Comedy in this world is physical. And you got to use something that you do, not something that everybody else does. Comics talk about everything that's out there. Comedy is somebody doing something of their own to make it funny. Presenting comedy, not receiving it. And this guy does it as good as anybody that I can think of. And he was my first choice. But I just had to go give everybody else a fair shot. I said, I'm going to visit with some people and talk about some people. And he's the best one I could get that I knew that I wanted to give it to. If there was anybody I wanted to step down and know that the job will still be done to the expertise that this rodeo needs without anything going on. And it was tough for me to make that decision emotionally because it's an end of an era for me. But when you're not, the end of an era sometimes is the end of something. This wasn't the end of it. I can still enjoy his end of the world. I'm still saying, yep, I brought him in there, you know. I still got a little pride in it too, you know. So it was emotional. Last year when I walked through that door right there, I sat right there on my chair and I didn't think it would hit me as hard as it did, but I went to crying because I knew that the door had opened. Time for me to walk out and for him to walk in.
This role, I mean, anytime you follow Leon, it doesn't matter what rodeo. I've been to Fort Madison, Iowa, and different rodeos where Leon's at, and Leon's a local legend everywhere he goes. Everybody loves Leon, and you know, people are like, "Hey, you got big shoes to fill." There's no filling those shoes. That's Leon's shoes, and they're way too big. I'll step in them and try to waddle around a little bit, but there's no replacing Leon. And I'm just the new guy, and the honor is huge. When Leon called me, I was in Indianapolis at the National FFA Convention in line at a McDonald's in between two performances, and drove out of the line when he told me. I'm like, you got emotional. It was a huge honor for me, for him to call and truly say, "Hey, you're the one that I want." Of 75 to 80 guys out there that do my job, for him to call and say, "Hey, you know, we want you." That meant a lot. And to go in behind Leon, the legend that he is here, it's tough. I mean, everybody's gonna miss him. It doesn't matter. I mean, in the barrel where he's at, I mean, he's still here, thank goodness, and people still get to see him. But following people like that is truly tough. And he's a Hall of Famer. You can't compete with it.
What was that moment like for you, being out on the dirt for the first time?
Well, I always make reference to the Bad News Bears and the Henner out in the center field, you know, looking around. It's like, holy cow, this is the largest venue I've ever been in, you know. And I mean, I've worked the National Finals Rodeo, which is a packed house at 18,000 people a night. Well, take that and multiply it times 4. You gotta learn your comedy and adapt, and from the physical aspects of it to, I mean, the little things of working with an announcer, working with a sound guy, working with the entire production crew. It's a lot more moving parts than a person realizes.
It's putting my seal of approval on it. And my seal of approval is the seal of approval from Houston. I got that from Houston. I got that from the fans here. And I got to give it to somebody that's worth it. And that's what I've done.
She's got a view of the rodeo dirt like no one else. Janie Johnson is the rodeo's newest rodeo announcer, but the sport and her perspective on it are in her blood. There is no playing field.
They're going to be taking it to the next level tonight.
Quite like
Get to experience that adrenaline rush.
the rodeo dirt.
You can get the dirt flinging in your face.
And here, on a surface where every measure of a second matters,
Is it going to be fast enough?
Janie Johnson has a platform
This is my office.
to share the events that are more than sports.
It's really been kind of my childhood dream to be a part of Rodeo Houston.
They're a way of life.
I grew up in it. I grew up around it. I'm still looking out for our winner from last night.
Johnson is in her first year as part of the Rodeo Houston announcing team.
Janie Johnson.
Hi, Boyd. It kind of had to settle in. I had several months to think about it. I was really nervous because, NRG is as big as it gets.
Sure. But she brings much more than color to the broadcast.
They run to the left barrel first.
Janie, a barrel racer herself,
I don't get to barrel race as much now that I'm always talking about barrel racing.
is sharing rodeo with everyone.
I hope that the audience feels the excitement that I feel as a fan.
Something that it seems
I feel so excited when we have a great run or a great ride or a horse is amazing.
she was meant to do.
Rodeo and the Western way of life has been a part of my life way before I was ever born.
Her dad, Clint, is a 4-time world champion saddle bronc rider.
2-time Rodeo Houston champion, so I got to get that in there as well. My mom's side of the family also very involved in rodeo.
Her husband, Jake Finley, also a saddle bronc rider, competing right here at Rodeo Houston.
We ranch up in Amarillo, Texas, kind of connected with rodeo for my whole life, so it all kind of came to be.
And in a sport steeped in tradition, Johnson, a native Texan, brings over a decade of broadcast experience, having worked with the biggest names in rodeo and seen many of the sport's biggest moments from the best seat
The best view of it all.
in the house.
It's unlike anything else.
Now, Johnson's added Houston,
There is no better and bigger production of rodeo.
one of the most fabled rodeos, to her resume.
It's the one that all the contestants talk about. Everybody dreams about it because a lot of the family legacy, their dads, their grandparents, they all competed here when they were younger, and it was epic in the Astrodome, but now it's next level here at NRG, and it's just getting better and better every single year.
Using that platform to help further widen
Big time in Houston.
the West Western spirit.
It's really been a dream.
Zack Tawatari, KHOU 11 News. And speaking of generations, Jordan Briggs' mom rode in the Astrodome. The barrel racers back at Rodeo Houston looking for a gold buckle. So Jordan, how exciting is it to be here at Rodeo Houston 2025?
This is my favorite rodeo. They take such good care of us here. They feed us all the time and we get to relax during the day. And the setup here is really weird, but that's what makes it so exciting. This arena is huge and it's just like every year, it's just like being in the bright lights like you've never been here before.
And Bradley Miller, a Sam Houston student from Huntsville who grew up mutton busting at Rodeo Houston, exemplifies the roots this rodeo has in the community. So Bradley, you're from Huntsville, right? I mean, that must make it pretty special to be able to come and compete in this rodeo.
I am. Huntsville's pretty close to here, and so this is about as close as I get to a big hometown rodeo.
What has it been like coming to Houston and experiencing this? How excited are you to be out there on the dirt tonight?
It's exciting. I grew up watching this rodeo from the grandstands, and to be able to come here again and compete, it's a dream come true.
And if you're gonna win at Rodeo Houston, you have to be the best of the best. But a little luck never hurts. Just ask tie-down roper Corey Solomon. I recognize the lucky green shirt. Green must be your lucky color, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, it's my signature color. Every time I compete, me and my horse wear green now.
Where did that start?
It started 2020 and COVID. I was in Arcadia, Florida, and just happened to have green on. I liked green, and the clown made fun of it, and actually Fallon Taylor heard it on TV, and she called me up, and ever since then, she said that could be a signature. Over the years, it's grown a good thing. The fans know me by green, and it's just a signature thing that I just roll with.
And finally, if you've ever wondered how the scores are calculated, it's the combination of experience, sharp eyes, and a little bit of tech.
The riding events, the judges will start the clock from the arena floor with one of these. The clock will run.
The judges are loving that.
You'll also see it down there at the end over the bucking chutes. It's running down there. 8 seconds. We provide the handhelds that the judges use in the arena. So real time from the arena. If they want to put a 42 in, they just enter 42 and hit enter. If they want to hit the other judge, they both combine them. It goes to the timers, and then the timer sends it on to the studio, and that's where you get your end result. Timed events that come from down here in the tie-down roping, the steer wrestling, the team roping, and the breakaway roping. And there's a barrier that goes across down there. When that flag pops, they see it, and then they turn to the guy. There's a guy out here, a judge, a horseback. And he's on a horse and he's got a flag in the air. And when they see that flag drop, then they hit the button again. And as you can see, it stopped at a 9.4.
Rodeoed for 20 years. And then I got done doing that. I just went on and started going and judging rodeos. Through my career, actually, like in college and stuff, I worked every event, but not everybody did. When I got out of school and stuff, I specialized in riding bucking horses, broncs. But we have seminars we go to, and everybody that goes to a rodeo or say as competitors normally stuck around and watched every event.
It's not a hard sport to understand, but at the end of the day, it's man versus beast.
Like a flapjack in a skittle.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our On the Dirt special on KHOU 11+. I'm Zack Tawatari from Rodeo Houston.